Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here. So excited to meet at our coffee Q&A here on Facebook, which is something I feel like is going to give us a great opportunity as business owners to come together and talk about the things that we're walking with, things that we're struggling over, things that we'd like some, support with, because as business owners, we all know how difficult it is to be in business and really maintain ourselves emotionally. And I think it's fabulous when we can come together, and if we can do it right from the comfort of our home, we don't have to worry about parking or snow. Like me, I was tiptoeing through the snow this morning. It's a lot of fun to be able to come together. So this whole effort here with Coffee Q&A is a Tuesday morning Mountain Standard Time, 11 o'clock. Great opportunity to come together with other business owners. So if you happen to be a business owner, you have friends or family that might be benefited by a chance to kind of connect over the net, so that you don't have to leave your home office, you don't have to leave your cubicle, whatever it is, and you can spend time with people that are like-minded, that are ready to uplift, support you, bring value every single time. So we have a couple of different ways we're going to look at this. One is, first off, I wanted just to say thank you for joining. So happy you're here, and I would love to get to know you, to hear from you. I've got my little trusty drink here because some health diagnosis I've been having a lot of fun with, healthy drinks. So this one actually isn't coffee. It's got the turmeric and the, cocoa, of course, because, who can live without cocoa, but, but it's all healthy. So cheers. Hope you've got your favorite cup of something to join us today. I know we all have our favorites. Lattes and cappuccinos and all the wonderful things that can make us feel warm and cozy inside. I like to think of it as sometimes like it's like a mama's milk, because it just brings you so much joy to have time to connect with other people as something warm, kind of goes all the way down to the, your little tummy and gets you nice and set for the day. If those people that can't live without our coffee, you know how we are, that warm drink, it just does something for the soul. So welcome to Coffee Q&A. So excited to have you here. This is going to be a group where we can get together and chat. And my goal is to have like this whole screen full of videos with people connecting and getting to know one another, finding out ways we can support each other, maybe doing a little bit of networking. The goal is to see you supported in your journey and get you what you're looking for, what you're needing, so that you can continue to move forward. So my name is Dina Beth. I am no longer with the Queen of Think Consulting. I'm now with BizWin Solutions, BizWin Vantage, BizWin Tips. So it's winning in business. Everything to do with winning in business is what I love talking about. And it's really kind of the core is we are kind of unaware when we start a business how much of it is emotional, how much of it is building relationships, how much of it is developing partnerships, skill sets, and mindsets that can really, send us in the right direction and keep us in the right direction. The sustainability of fabulous content around people that are building us up in our relationships cannot be overemphasized when it comes to anything that has to do with business. So super excited to talk to you about this topic. Again, I'm looking for you being next to me here on this side. Anybody that wants to join me, please jump on. There is links posted all over Facebook, and I can just add you to the screen here with me, and we can have a little bit of a chat on, what's going on for you. What is your current biggest challenge or struggle? I think often we don't have a chance to really share that out. I've had some amazing conversations recently with clients on this topic. I have a daughter that's 21 years old when she came to me with her first, hey, I'm going to start a bakery. And I'm like, let's do this. And so we launched in, it's been 4 years. She's 30-something employees and 25 now. And she attributes so much of the coaching and the support she's received from me and from others to getting her where she is today. And if you're one of those people that is starting a small business, you're looking for support, you're looking for some really great, great insights, tips, resources, anything that would really kind of propel you forward in your business, you are in the right place. This coffee Q&A is a free place for us to come together and discuss those questions and look at what's going on for you, what you need support with, and how we can get you moving forward and get past that road bump before it turns into a roadblock. So what we want to talk about, since I'm kind of here just sharing out our initial plan to start meeting every Tuesday, and of course we're counting on having a bunch of folks joining us next time. So next Tuesday, 11 a.m. we'll come together, and at least one person come over and hang out with me here. Want to be able to have discussions around this amazing topic. So I think all of us have, on one level or another, some pretty major family stress this time of year. Family tends to be our biggest stressor. Okay, we got the presents. Okay, we have the tree, the things to handle. But when it comes to family, if you're anything like me, it can be really draining. And what I know for me is it's really me. And I had to really own that it was me that was being drained. And it was me because I had stories around what was going on and who wasn't doing what and what should be different. And that was really what was getting in my way. So what I've compiled here is just some really quick tips that can help support you in your holiday. Because I know every single one of us, we have stuff going on with dinners and traditions and obligations, even maybe some depression going on this time of year, which is very common. So you don't want to feel alone in that. I know getting sunshine is really important for that, by the way. But we know as adults that it's just so much more than, the magic of what the children see, right? Their eyes are full of wonder and everything's just so magical. And yet for us, it's like, okay, we got to be the frame for this picture, right? We try to create something wonderful, but it's just not wonderful when it's so much work, dealing with emotion and all of the ups and downs of holiday fun. So there's aches and pains from some people. Like there's some people that don't stop whining and complaining when they finally get in the family circle. There's, clogged toilets. There's broken dishes and things that, kind of offend and upset and hurt people's feelings. And next thing you know, we get, sniffles get to go along with that ride too. So, there's cooking disasters. When you think about it's never like you think. You think it's going to go smooth. It just is what it is. So it almost feels like we never live down some of the things that go on. And if we had a terrible cooking episode, suddenly it's just like we got to carry this out forever, right? So any of you relate to any of those types of scenarios? Please maybe type in the chat here. Maybe let us know with an emoji of some sort, what it's like for you working through the holidays, what it's like for you dealing with, all of the different things that come up. There's just a lot to try to fit in, absorb, deal with. So what I know is what we'd like to do is have a memory of how it kind of went down and how it came out on the other end. And so at the end of the video, I'll be talking about some great ways to set yourself up for success here. And we're finishing up here, so it won't be more just a few more minutes. But I think what we need to remember is that creating a game plan, like how we're going to navigate, deciding for ourselves with clarity on the inside, what it is we need, what it is that we, if we could have it all our way, if we could really set ourselves up for success. There is a way to do that. There is a way to, to navigate this in a healthy manner. So it looks like having a game plan, deciding for yourself what matters most to you, what, events you want to go to, what plans you want to carry out, and really choose for yourself what makes sense for you in your life and not letting other people dictate that. I think that's number one, because excuse me for the sniffles, but if it doesn't really fit, there shouldn't be any commitment. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes we make is when we commit to something we don't really feel like is a good fit. And then we're hurt later when things don't go well and people don't show up and do their part and all the other things. So just remembering to kind of have a sense of humor with that. Like, it just doesn't work for me this time, but perhaps next time, and just being willing to say yes to what works for you and no to what doesn't. and just holding the boundaries there. I think that's something we all are learning on one level or another, where our boundaries are, what makes sense for us and our families. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So another one is just consider that there might be situations like someone wants you to do something, provide a special dish to a special event. Not be afraid to reach out and say, I wonder if there's someone else who would be more, I don't know, qualified to do that specific thing. Because we often put pressure on ourselves to do things we don't really feel like we're up for. And then either we push ourselves through it and we feel miserable, or it doesn't turn out like we thought. And then we're like wanting to find someone to blame for why we're feeling the way we are. What if we just choose what works for us and do the pieces that make sense for us at that time? And yes, it doesn't hurt to stretch and push past our limits a little, more than usual, but to take on too much can often lead to something we didn't want. And then, so really having kind of the end in mind, I think, is the biggest piece. So this is my biggest tip of all. If you could lay on your pillow at the end of the season or end of the holiday with this, smile on your face, with not a smirk, but a smile, like genuine, happy, like super, like, wow, that worked out so well. I'm so grateful for this. And this was so amazing. And I sure love that. I think being willing to kind of set yourself up with the end in mind can make a huge difference in like your overall experience of that. Like you can see how that kind of your intention being set beforehand really set the stage for how you got your results. I mean, you get the results you really put yourself out there for. So not being afraid to set yourself up for success by being clear with yourself about what it is that you need for the holiday season and to really be in great shape. I think it's a big one. So less is more. I think some of our biggest challenges come from having kind of we need a lot of. What if we actually are better off with less and more quality? Is a huge tip that I think is really, really powerful. Like less presence, less visiting, but just making sure when we do have presence and we do have visiting and we do have occasions and we do have that they're real high quality, like really amp up the quality of what we do so that we come away with something that really is meaningful and it has the most healthy memories possible. Knowing your limits is like a huge piece of that. It really, really is. And I think we're all learning about those because I definitely know how difficult it can be sometimes to really be solidly clear about where our limits are, what works, what doesn't work for us. I think one of the tips that helped me with that was to notice in my body when I was tense. If I find myself with like tension and kind of a clenching or like a body is kind of closing protection mode when I hear something or I'm asked to do something, or then I know it's a no for me. Like energetically, I'm saying, this doesn't work for me. And if it's a yes, I just feel open. I feel expanded. I feel like flowing, like free, like my shoulders go back. My chin is up a little. I feel openness in my body when it's a yes. So I think being able to recognize our body has a no, our body has a yes, and being not afraid to listen when our no is there, because gosh, that no is there for a really good reason, and it's going to make a big difference to be able to honor ourselves with the no. I think the last piece that I want to offer you is just owning your own celebration. Everyone has their own way to celebrate the season. And to put a ton of pressure on yourself about, holding this burden of tradition, I think is a misnomer. It might be like family has the say. You may not feel like you have a lot of say, but what if the areas where you do have say that you could just give yourself some room to celebrate how you feel is best for you and yours, and not have this rigidity like it has to look a certain way. What if it doesn't? What if there's a myriad of possibilities of what would work for you and what would work for your family? So I hope these tips have been incredibly useful for you. My joy, again, is to offer value. Our goal here is to come together as business owners, get the very best of what's available. And I know all of us as business owners also have family at home waiting to, help us navigate this whole season. And to, not all of us maybe, but most of us. For those of you that don't have family, I'm sure you have siblings and other. So I know there's always some, even if it's your best friend, that's pretty much family because they become so much a part of who you are. So the point is just really take these 5 tips, remember to have a game plan, get really clear about what matters most to you, have that clarity, be willing to ask for some help. Remember, less is more, not press yourself into something you're not really ready for. Know where your limits are, not be afraid to draw those lines where you need to. Embracing your own celebration, your own, traditions so that you're not feeling obligated to follow, whatever everyone else is doing. What if you have your own that matches you and your lifestyle and what matter, what's important to you? Honoring yourself in all of those things, I think, is going to make a big difference for you through this holiday season. So I invite you to share this out if you have family members that would be benefited by this content. If you have a sister or friend that could value, to receive some value about how to navigate this whole process, you're sure welcome to share this out. Is there anyone has a question or, a thought about this particular topic, would like to know more about it? Feel free to reach out to me. We are going to be meeting again next Tuesday. I believe that is going to be, the 17th plus 14th, 24th. So that will be Christmas Eve at 11 a.m. And for those of you that are able to pop on, it would be awesome to connect and get some of your questions. Do remember to reach back and let me know what other questions you might have that you'd like to address for our next coffee Q&A. Again, this is meant to involve many of us, so feel free to join in. I'd love to have friends and family showing up over here and participating with this conversation. The point is to bring your questions, get answers from each other, and be willing to, see some value come through that truly supports us where we're at with what we're dealing with today in our business, in our lives. So we all just deserve to be supported in the journey. So if I could offer you specific steps, I would say really get some clarity inside about what matters most to you. Really determine for yourself what you'd like your holiday to look like so that at the end of the holiday you are in great shape. And again, that looks like, what if I could have it all my way, what would that look like? Just be really generous with yourself and give yourself the space to generate that list, generate those ideas, and spend some time, maybe verbalizing them to the people around you so that you can create what would make your heart sing. Because believe it or not, you have people around you that would love to see you happy and would love to support you in that. And being willing to express it is a big part of getting that to actually come into fruition. The next piece is be willing to write it down, be willing to express it, being willing to, set yourself up for success, get the pieces in place to support you, whether that be a calendar or, some phone calls or, a checkoff list that you're going to follow up with to make sure that you have what you need to get those things in place for yourself. And so that they don't just kind of go by the way, with things, kind of out of sight, out of mind thing. And the last detail I would say would be remember to pop your questions in our Q&A link, which will be posted in the comments here for our next coffee Q&A that'll be happening just 1 week from now. Looking forward to connecting with you. Looking forward to having you on our broadcast. Looking forward to having you right here next to me. Having some great conversation here soon. And again, we're meeting every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Looking forward to hearing from you, learning from you, and seeing what we can do to offer value in the journey. So thanks again for being here. Such a treat to be able to share these tips with you. Looking forward to more. It's just going to get better from here. So have a great one. Take care. Thanks again. Bye-bye.